Where I actually placed my camera is not safe. Hey, this camera should not follow. But anyway, we're dressing to go out now. My friend just put to bed, so we want to go see her. And I'm just dressing up, and some things just start running through my mind. It's the 1st of November, and when you're just having so much thought about the gratitude, everything that God has done for you and your family, and you're just so overwhelmed with gratitude. And I just remembered, made me remember when we first arrived in the United Kingdom. That was 4 years ago now. And I was just thinking to myself, like, what are the 4 biggest lessons I've learned, over the years? Like, what has really stood out for me? And I thought, while getting ready to go out, I might as well just try to recount my blessings, because one of my favorite hymns says, count your blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Sorry, a little bit of introduction. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ifeoluwa Ishola. If this is your first time, where have you been? Please go through some of my videos. I'm sure you're gonna like the vibes here. Click on the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and give this post a thumbs up. And to my returning subscribers, you guys already know I love you so much. Thank you for sticking by me. Thank you for always returning back. I'm really grateful for the gift of you guys. So yeah, a little bit of backstories, which I know shouldn't be new to the OGs on this channel, is we arrived in the United Kingdom sometimes in 2021 for my master's program. And we came in, just the 2 of us, singles, having fun, and just trying to navigate the new space in the new field of our lives. And over the years, finished my master's in 2022, got a job late towards 2022. My husband got a sponsorship job, so that afforded us the grace to be able to switch to a work visa. So now we're on a work visa. And apologies for my voice, I've got this bad cough, sore throat, and runny nose. Yeah, so that's why I'm sounding like a gen that has refused to come up. Anyway, back to the main story. So we came in, as couples. Now we are a family of 3. We've got this gorgeous, beautiful baby girl, and it just feels like life is complete. Like when you just feel like everything you ever prayed for, you're actually in the reality of that. That's how it feels right now, and I'm so grateful for that. And actually, I just wanted to share with you guys the 4 major things that I've learned in our 4 years in the United Kingdom. And the first thing is trust God. See, if there's anything you want to bank your life on here, if there's anything or any basket, they always say do not put all your eggs in one basket. There's actually one basket you should put all your eggs in, and I'm telling you, that's in the hands of God. God will never ever mismanage your life. That I can tell you for free. Trust God. See, if you hear him here and he told you to go on a journey, just go. You're the one that hearing. There's something my husband will always say, that hearing God is not a conference call. You're the only one who heard his voice. You're the only one who was there when he spoke to you. So whatever it is that he told you, just hold on to that and run with it. I remember when we had the instruction to move from Nigeria, it was like it wasn't making sense, because at that time we weren't even resourcefully okay, if that made sense, to be among those that would have thought of relocating out of the country. And even for me personally, I never saw myself living outside Nigeria. I always saw myself as coming out for a vacation or whatnot and then returning back home. So it was never in the plan for us to actually leave out of Nigeria. But then when the instruction came, we started the journey, and everything was looking like, should be a don't that say we should move. Why are things looking so hard and everything? And at that point, God was just trying to teach us that nobody is going to share the glory of God. Trust me, every single person we thought was going to come through did not come true. And at that point, I was naive enough to think that they probably weren't helpful, or they did not want to see us progress. But I think I've come to understand the fact that it just wasn't God's plan for God to use those people, because he knows fully well that if he had used those people, we would have ascribed the glory to them. So him taking our eyes off them and just on him completely, made sure that even when everything was sorted out, we could not think of one single person to actually say, oh, let's go to this person's house and thank them for what they've done. Everything that was coming to our head was just to go praise God, because he actually did it all. And then we moved in here. It was I'm not going to tell you that it was smooth at first. It was really, really rocky, finding accommodation. We came in when we had to quarantine. I'm sure you guys saw the vlogs then. It was really tough, starting with the school threatening me as well, the withdrawal, that's a different story entirely, and then up to this point, when we are where we are comfortable enough, and I'll just say all through this season, I've learned to trust God. I've learned to look up to him solely and look up to him only for everything, and that's one major big lesson that I've learned. So if you're in a new land, you're in a new place, and you do not know God, please get to know him. That's just what I'm going to say, because you need him. You need number one ingredient in your life, you need it. And then the second biggest thing that I'm going to say that I've learned so far is time. Learn to just give things time. Sometimes last month, I think we went for our monthly shopping, and then we went to the African store, and we spent quite, significant amount, if I do say so myself. And while we were checking out, it just dawned on me that, this family of 3 years ago, 2 years ago, cannot even afford to spend half of the fraction of what we did in the African store. Not because we did not have the means, but because our priorities then were different. The means we had were so tied to a specific thing that we cannot afford the luxury of getting African food. But now it's just something that happens to be a normal thing. You get, like, it happens to be part of something we just budget for. We talk about any other necessity as well, probably having a car, access to things that you would consider luxury, making your hair abroad. I know how much that costs, but being able to do that. I didn't make this anyway, my friend did. Shout out to you, Tommy. But then just being able to afford basic things that felt like a life, that felt like a luxurious thing then, just having that the grace to be able to afford them. And I just thought about it, and I felt it was just time that happens to it. Give yourself time, give yourself grace. Most of the time you migrate to a different country and you're thinking that as you're landing in the airport, there's a special job that is waiting for you, there's a special house for you, you're gonna get a car, everything's just gonna set in place. Now, I'm not saying there are some people who that did not happen to, but even those people will tell you that everything took time. Right? So give yourself time, give yourself the grace to just measure things up. If coming in, your survival job might not be what you want to, like, or probably what you want to study, or probably what you've seen yourself working in. It's just for a period of time, just a short period of time. At the end of the day, everything is going to align, and then you're able to get the experience you want, you're able to get the exposure you want, you're able to assimilate well into the society, and that affords you the strength to be able to go after the kind of job that you want. But if you just think, oh, I'm coming into the country today and everything just have to align straight up, my sister, just give yourself time, because that time as well will help you to not put yourself under unnecessary pressure. Now, the third thing that I've learned is you and your partner, you and your husband are one. See, I've known about this, trust me, a long time ago. I've gone through a lot of marriage counseling, and the ones have been privileged to be able to give out myself. But see, understanding that oneness comes when you're out of your comfort zone. I've seen a lot of marriages crumble or at the verge of crumbling, especially when they get to outside the country, and you're wondering what happens to this marriage, because these marriages were blooming, when they were in their own country. But all of a sudden, you move to a new country, and then the marriages are cracking, or things are going on, a lot of arguments are happening, and you're wondering what is going on. What I've learned is it's easy for you to do the my money is my money, money is our money thing in Nigeria. But outside the country, trust me, if you see, I know some people might be saying, oh, that's the man's responsibility, that's his job, he's the provider, that's what he did. But you're also an helper. You're also a helpmate that has been made for him. And you see that many of the helpmates is actually much more profound outside the country, because you need to actually help this man. So I understood the oneness that come with it, not only in the financial aspect, I understand it in the psychological aspect, in emotional aspect, being there for each other, supporting each other, being the shoulder to cry on for each other, being each other's rock, having each other's back at all time, no matter what happens. It made me understand that more, made me understand the essence of why we're a team, you know, and understand the deep meaning of companionship, you know, because majority of the times, you know, we take the word companionship in the sexual aspect, thinking you've got an intimate partner, so, you know, you have the license to do whatever it is you want to have. That's sweet, that's good, trust me, it's fine. But then you understand the deeper meaning of companionship when you're outside your comfort zone, when you're outside your country, because you now understand that there's no other person that you fojudo, that you use highs and resemble. That's literally a translation, but what I'm trying to say is there's no other person that would have your back selflessly as your partner would. There's no other person who would hold your hands through a lot of phases that you're going to go through, because trust me, you're going to go through phases. See, it's not a matter of cost. It's not a matter of, oh no, but the Lord has said we should go ahead. Is it not the same God that told the children of Israel to go to the promised land? Let the children of Israel come and tell you the story of how they go to that promised land. Yeah, so it's not that, it's still not the same God that is leading you to the promised land, but of course a lot of things are going to happen along the way, and having somebody to experience that with, to be able to, even in that trial, right, you have somebody who you can both find joy in them, find strength in them, being able to depend on each other. It's really key for me. That was one thing that really stood out for me. And my partner, my husband, as just, you know, I see him now more than just my husband or the father of my child. I see him as my person. Like I don't know how to drive that home. Like I see him as my G. Like we've gone through all this together. We've seen Shege Pro Max together, and then we've survived that to the glory of God, and that has made us, you know, much more stronger. Yeah. So yeah, you just have to be able to hold your partner. You have to be able to talk through a lot of things. If you do not communicate before, probably when you're back home, or you're somebody that do not know how to communicate well, outside the country is going to teach you, because both of you have to communicate. You're going to fight, you have to finish it and come back, because this person is your person. And if you try to invite like a third party or something, that's when you started making and opening holes for different lizards to creep in and be able to stay and this and that. And all the devil needs is just an entry. Once you give the devil that entry, well, he will come and build an apartment in the house. And anyway, just see your partner as like you, like you people are one in everything, whatever it is. Even if you're going through any discomfort, even if you're not happy with what's going to be there to like be able to talk to each other, if that makes sense. And then the last thing that I believe I've learned over the course of the years is never ever 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 compare yourself. Don't compete. Like, don't be, for what matter exactly? Why are you competing? With who? For what? Where? Why? I mean, because I've seen a lot of, you know, we immigrants coming into the country, and you who are here, what you just arrived last year, you want to be like somebody that's here 4 years ago, or want to be like somebody that's been here 15 years or 20 years. I'm not saying you do not aspire to perspire. You, that's what you want to do, but give yourself grace. Don't compete. Don't compare yourself. It's when you started doing that, you put yourself under unnecessary pressure, and then you start going after things that you're not supposed to have yet. I'm not saying you cannot maybe have these things, but things takes time. Things takes for you to be able to learn. Now I'm going to give you a very quick example. I know of a family who came in, and you know they were quite okay before even coming into the country. So they had the money, and they were fine, paid their school fees. So there was nothing like the payment of school fees hanging over their head. So they came in the same week they arrived. They decided to get a car. Now that's good, don't get me wrong. Getting a car is not like a luxury in this place. It's a necessity because you need it. But then the timing when they got the car was wrong. Why? Because they felt everyone that was introduced to them in that street, and even the church they attend, they all have a car. So they felt left out and decided to also get a car because they have the money and the resources at that time. Now they got a car without learning about the rules of governing driving in this country. They got a car without learning about the tax system. They got a car without learning about insurance. They got a car without learning about things that guides driving. They got the car without learning about parking permits, a lot of things that they needed to take time to research. They did not do that, and at the end of the day they kept on getting tickets almost every other week, to the extent that I'm just going to give you like an estimated estimated amount here. So they got this car for, let's say, 1,500 on Facebook Market, but then on tickets, parking fines and different things, charges and all, they ended up spending like 4,005 quid on tickets and penalties and things like that, which wasn't really making sense. And then they ended up selling this car. Now the time they would have used to calm down, learn the ropes of things, and just, you know, these people that they have car, find good, beautiful, walk up to them, learn the ropes. How are they doing this? You know, what do you need to learn? What do you need to unlearn? What do you need to relearn? You know, it's a different, there's a country that is governed with laws, and these laws are really adhered to. So being just settled to learn all these things is really good. So that's what I'm saying, that don't compete, don't be in a competition, don't be in a rush to want to appear established when you just arrived 2 months ago or so. It's okay to struggle a little at a point, and of course struggling is relative. Yeah, what I might time as struggling is not what you might time as struggling, but all I'm trying to say is everyone needs to learn the rope at first. You're coming into a new country where you don't know anything about. Probably the only thing you've read information online. You know, you weren't born here, you didn't grow up here, you don't know what's going on here. So by the time you enter, you need to learn the ropes of the society to be able to be sure that, you know, you're settled in and all good and fine before you now can enter a lot of troubles because of what, because you're comparing yourself to, you want to get this, you want to be this or that. So just take your time, make sure that your feet is established. Sorry, I'm looking for my earring in the new. Make sure that your feet is established and that you've learned a lot of ropes. And instead of competing, yeah, why not reach out to these people and learn how they were able to settle, so you do not repeat the same mistakes that they did, right? So that you do not go down the lane that they did as well, that they weren't so proud of. You know, being able to learn from that is going to help you a lot. So that's the 4 big things, you know. Quickly run through them. Trust God. God, your number 1. You can't do without God, okay? And 2, time happens to everyone. Just give it time. Time heals. And number 3, you and your partner are solidly one team together. Like the both of you have each other's back to back. And of course, the last one, do not compete. Do not be in a competition with anybody. The only person you should compete with is yourself. Don't compete with anybody before you're not going to compete with somebody and put yourself inside down. Okay, so that's that about that. And yep, we are done. With deeds. Anyway, I'll see you guys when you see me. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched to this point and you actually haven't subscribed, I don't know what's going on, please subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and do well to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.